Hello everyone, it's your old pal Fromark here with another episode of Fromark Plays. This time I'm going to be recording a playthrough of Sonic the Fighters. Now originally this was an arcade game released in 1996, and some places it was called Sonic Championship. But this is a pretty neat little game. Robotonic. I like that little error, that typo or whatever. I like the graphics in this game. What this is basically is Sonic's version of Virtua Fighter. I mean, it was developed by the Sega AM team, and they came up with this, and it's a pretty fun little fighter. The one thing I never understood about this game is why the heck didn't they put it on the Saturn? The Sega Saturn has like a million arcade fighters on it, and yet not this. I heard there were plans at one point, but they were just like, nah dog, they don't need it. But yeah, you get several different characters to choose from. Of course, Sonic, Tails, Fang the Sniper, Bean the Dynamite Duck, Bark the Polar Bear, SBO the Chameleon, Amy, Rosie the Rascal, Knuckles the Echidna. For this playthrough, I'm going to be playing as Sonic, though. Sonic vs. Knuckles, a tale as old as time. Yeah, this would have been the perfect game to put on the Saturn in place of the Sonic Extreme debacle happening. I heard that it was planned at one point, it just never came to be. And for the longest time, and it wasn't until the Sonic Gems collection ported this game over that people were finally able to play it again. Yeah. So far, so good, but I still got plenty more fighting to do. Now there's 2 rounds, unless there's a tie, and then there's a tie-breaking 3rd round, just as ends up being the case in most fighter games. You know, a lot of times you'll probably notice me doing a lot of button mashing. I know that I know plenty of people who've been like, yo, that's not how you play a fighting game. That's how I play them. Well, sometimes I try to do combos and change things up, but I mean, if it works, why mess it up? But yeah, so far so good. Got the first emerald. It's very strange to me that there's 8 emeralds in this game, whereas there's 7 in most Sonic games. And there's one game on the Saturn in particular that this is almost a carbon copy of in a lot of ways. I know I mentioned Virtua Fighter, but I find it more akin to a game on the Saturn called Fighting Vipers. Now that's a really fun game. It's basically this, but just reskinned with a bunch of characters made for that game. Although I think, and don't quote me, but I do believe you can unlock Bean and Bark at some point. I'm not quite sure on that. But yeah, those are 2 characters that'll never appear again as playable characters in Sonic games, probably. Which makes me sad, because Bean's a cool looking character. I like his design. He's a green duck. And ducks are cool. My grandpa used to have a bunch of pet ducks. Emerald. There's one of the forgotten characters. Although I do believe that him and Bean the Duck are referenced in Sonic Mania. I think they're on some of the wanted posters in the background of the desert level. Ooh. And yeah, you get those little shield barrier things. But, ah man. KO. Hopefully I can do it right this time. Let's say I got a better chance now that his defenses are ruined. Ah, yeah, this is happening. But yeah, they eventually there was a port of this on the PS3. I got it off the eShop at one point. But since I already had my Wii hooked up and the Gems collection ready to go, I figured, hey, why not just record it on earlier hardware? Well, actually, I'm recording off the Wii, so Oh, it's gonna be a close call here. Yeah, okay, awesome. That's the good stuff right there. Yeah, total knockout. 5 more emeralds to go. Now the cool thing is you get some game overs, and you got plenty of continues if that's the case. But yeah, normally the other characters will break out the barrier shields and use those up. I like to let them just do that, and they're pretty much left open. Ooh. At least Espio's not one of the forgotten Sonic characters. He's been in a couple of games. Most notably Knuckles Chaotix, Sonic Heroes. Which Knuckles Chaotix was his first appearance. I'm surprised there's no Vector in this one. I'm surprised they didn't get the rest of the Chaotix in here. Not necessarily a complaint, I'm just a little bit surprised. See what kind of magic I can make happen. Awesome. Awesome. Keeping things going. Yeah, I know that the button mashing ways are frowned upon sometimes in the fighting game community, but all that matters is that you're having fun and that you enjoy the game. And typically with fighting games, I have a good time. It's just I feel like they're better as multiplayers. Which there is a 2-player versus mode, but I usually never have anybody to play multiplayer with because I'm sad and lonely. Oh man, Tails. Watch out, Tails, you're gonna crash. Ah. Uh-oh. Did he get me? Ah man, he got me. He got that one. He won't be so lucky this time. At least I hope. It's all about timing sometimes. You gotta make sure you can land a punch before they can. I've never been in any actual fights before. I mean, I've thrown a couple of punches, but nothing more. I've never been in, like, any fights. And I don't intend on that being the case anytime soon. I am more of a non-confrontational kind of guy. Though sometimes it just comes looking for me. Oh, speed. On the boat. Oh, Tails, no. Okay, sweet. Sweet. Alright, good stuff. I still got 3 more emeralds. See what I can make happen. But yes, I enjoy how, like, overly polygonal the characters are in this. It's, like, very detailed, and it's very unique. And I wonder if that's part of why they didn't port the game. There's too much detail for the Saturn to handle. Though that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because, I mean, fighting Vipers. I mean, I don't know. I hope this is one of the cases, though, where there's, like, some fan out there who's trying to make this run on Saturn hardware. Because that just seems like it would be a pretty easy task. If you get the development tools into the right hands. It's like I'm still waiting for somebody to make a complete Sonic Extreme fan game. We've been close a couple of times, but it's mostly just ends up being a demo or two, or a level here, a level there. Nobody really commits to making a full game out of it. I was really hoping that the 2022 voxel demo was gonna get somewhere. I thought for sure he was gonna continue to work on that, but unfortunately it doesn't look to be the case. Which, I guess, even fans of Sonic Extreme can't seem to figure out how to do anything with the concept. I think Voxel's probably the closest one to getting it right, to doing a pretty faithful recreation of the Fish Islands demos. Although at this point I would also like to see somebody do something with the Project Condor demos. Well, demo. Which all we really have of that is a couple of screenshots and then the one demo of Sonic running through a little green hilly area. But I would like to believe that they were able to develop and do more with the game before it got cancelled. There's just stuff that we haven't seen yet or hasn't been leaked or it's probably lost somewhere in a vault. Somebody's storage unit or something. I don't know, I will never not want to talk about Sonic Extreme. That's just always looked really fascinating to me, and it's really quite a shame that it never came to be. Oh no. My own clone? Now neither of us will be virgins. I gotta look out for the Sonic clone here, though. Try to get all of his shields down. And yeah, there's a couple more battles after this. This is a pretty quick little game, though. But like most arcade games, it's one of those things that you can beat in under a half hour. Fighting games, I feel like fighting games don't tend to have a ton of depth, unless it's like Super Smash Brothers. I like the Smash series. Not as much as some of my friends do, because I knew people who played it competitively and went to tournaments and pretty much like went crazy over that game series. But I don't know, I like it. Just fighting games aren't usually my bread and butter. But yeah, stage 8 clear. It's going pretty good so far. I got 8 emeralds. And now I can challenge Death Egg 2. It looks like we're blasting off into space. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. Okay, Metal Sonic. Sonic versus Metal Sonic. Another tale as old as time. You think you know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you because I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it? I love the Sonic OVA. I feel like it is pretty much Sonic CD, the movie. I mean, Sonic doesn't do time travel in that one, but Sonic vs. Metal Sonic, and the art style is very akin to the opening cutscene in Sonic CD. Which Sonic CD will always be high on my list of favorite Sonic games. I'm sure the microphone's probably picking up my clicky controls, as my GameCube controller does do a little bit of clicky-clacky. But no worries, folks, as I'm making this game look pretty easy, but in my defense, I do have the easy mode on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say that right now if it wasn't obvious. But sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes I still need to practice these games. But alright. And then, you know what? It looks like this is gonna be another one-part episode, so that's cool. It's looking pretty good. Yes, excellent. And I just noticed that's a one-round fight, so if I would have messed that up, then it wouldn't have been good. Alright. One more cutscene for the road. And I would say kaboom? There it is, kaboom. Yeah. Oh, I should cease your procedure. Don't look when that's flashing. I forgot about that. But Sonic flies back to his home planet. And yes, so that was Sonic the Fighters, folks, or Sonic Championship. I have never seen one of these arcade cabinets out in the wild. I I would think something like this would have been pretty successful and that there would have been a lot of copies made. But it still feels like it's kind of like a what the heck, why wasn't this on the Saturn? But it's still a pretty solid game. I enjoy it. It has a lot of charm. And it's a fun little game to sit around and play for a few minutes. Definitely akin to those other Sega mid-90s fighters, like your old Fighting Vipers and Virtua Fighter and Fighters Megamix and all that good stuff. I would like to see another Sonic fighting game made one of these days. That'd be cool. Who knows, maybe we'll get that one of these days. I think that's it for the credits. Maybe? Ah, there it is. Presented by Sega. Sega! Although you can't hear the Sega choir in this game. So I did it for you. Anyways, folks, this has been Fromark, and I will see you in whatever it is I do next. I will see you then.